You're now listening to the show about the shit in life that's just a bit too much, from the perspective of stand-up comics, with our hosts, Carmelo Bongiovi and Ken Krantz. This week's topic, Heckles and monkey business, with our guests, Greg and Rob. This is A Bit Too Much.
Do you guys ever? Does one of you go off on a crowd work tangent the other one's not prepared for?
Yeah, that happens.
Because I've seen you guys work with the crowd a little bit and play off each other pretty. Like when I saw you guys when I worked with you guys, I feel like you. I don't know if it was worked out ahead of time, but it felt very improvised, and you guys played off each other really well. And that's like what I keep on thinking about. I'm like, I would never be able to do this, like work with someone else on stage like this, because I feel like I'd want to just take it.
Yeah, it seems really hard to me.
Yeah, but you guys do it very naturally. I gotta say, like, it really feels like a well worked out oiled machine, even though it might not always feel like that, but it seems like it from the outside perspective.
I know when to shut up if he's doing crowd work. I'll just wait. I
really do it now. I don't do,
and we don't. I'm done with it.
You don't do a lot.
I don't. It's got annoying. You see all the clips.
People trying to do.
I feel like that's phasing out though.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing as much
the
of them.
moment of people thinking that crowd work is going to be like
when we
the
first
content moment.
when we first started and you start getting booked on shows, right? Like you get like 10 minutes. And you really only have like a minute and 30 seconds of material, Right. So we used to have to fill time with crowd work. So
that's when you start looking around the venue.
Yeah, you start making fun of the guy in the front and the venue and all that shit. Yeah. And so like after a period of time, you develop material. So you don't really want to do that. Like you just want to get your jokes out. If you're doing new jokes, you want to test them from like a real crowd. So like
right, and you have such a worked out thing between the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys do play off each other on these jokes. Like one of you started, and you kind of like you go back and forth a bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to veer from that, probably.
Do you ever get I'm picturing a heckler going after you and then getting 4 barrels back instead of 2.
Oh. Yeah, right. Because you're both.
Like I'm picturing hecklers like quickly finding out that maybe I should have picked on a solo comic.
There's 2 of them.
You've been had.
I get had all the time.
All the time.
I get wounded.
Yeah.
Also, it sucks sometimes if like a heckler and like he's yelling and you can't be like 2 people yelling.
Then I'll start yelling.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, now it's like you're ganging up on
him. Turns into a bar fight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
These 2 Staten Island goons are gonna fight this guy.
You don't want to be like 2 guys fired up, like, oh, we said about us, like in real time.
Like one of us has to control the situation.
Yeah.
It could get too aggressive, maybe. If you're both.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
that was that. We did like a bar show once in Tom's River, and we got a guy, bar show.
Yeah,
he's barely a heckler; he's just a patron.
It's just a guy who was there drinking.
Yeah, he didn't sign up for a comedy show.
And we
were
just eating it. Like, we just fucking terrible set, and then
Tom's River. That sounds like
oh my god, it was awful. And then he gave us $20 to get off stage. And I was like, why don't you give that to the Special Olympics? And the guy goes, I just did. And I was like, fucking. And I was like, fuck.
No coming back from
that. You can't come back from that. It was fucking awesome.
It's a great guy. Yeah.
I'm like, what am I going to do?
That's it. Down for the count.
Don't you hate when a heckler says
funny?
something funnier than you said the whole night?
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
It's rare, though. To be honest, it's rare, but it just happened to be a funny person who's heckling you. Yeah. Most hecklers are not funny. I don't even think they know where they're going.
You gotta let them go further.
Yeah.
I remember once I had a joke about wanting to be cremated, and I was bombing, and I opened this joke. I was like, I've been thinking about it. I want to be cremated. And with like immediately some dude shouted out, right now? And it was so good, I fucking stole it. Like I use it as part of the joke now. Because I'll say it, and if they don't really react, I'm like right now would be so good. And then it gets a huge laugh.
Yeah.
But you ever have a heckler so good you steal his joke?
Of course.
No, definitely not. But
it's a chunk of our act.
I encourage Shane Gillis to heckle me all the time.
Yeah, give me a good heckler.
Yeah, let's get some good joke writers.
Yeah.
Heckle idea.
A lot of times, just let them go. If a heckler has like a good one, and it's like, all right, keep going, because they always run out of steam. You know,
that's right. They don't have an act. They maybe got you with one,
but then now some of these fucking comedy fans, they come with a notebook almost. Like the audiences are more wittier than the comics.
Because comedy fans right now are
nuts.
very into. They're absorbing hours of comedy. They know more about the industry than we do because they're listening to comedy podcasts.
I know. I was just telling him, I'm like, if you're a fan of comedy and you meet me, I'm the worst comic to meet.
Ken doesn't listen to this podcast.
I don't listen. I don't listen to. I don't know. I don't watch comedy anymore. I stopped watching comedy years ago. I don't know any of the gossip. I don't know who went on Joe Rogan. I know nothing.
I go back to the old stuff that I grew up on. Like, like watching something like Carlin, George Carlin.
And old Chris Rock.
And like it's something like that. I rarely watch anything new. I mean, it has to be like really good. Like, or it has to be like a great comic. That,
Yeah, like I'll watch any Nate Bargatze special. Like there's certain comics where like I'll watch anything.
I
could listen to, I haven't laughed at 3 of the last Dave Chappelle specials, but I just like listening to him talk.
Just listen to him talk.
I can hear him talk.
Yeah, he's just like a guy you want to hear pontificate on something.
Yeah.
I mean, to a degree, I think so. Like, I think that Chappelle has become this guy. Like, it's not just about jokes anymore. He's become a guy who just enlightens on a subject. Granted, he had like 2 specials that were about one thing.
But it should be about jokes. I mean, it should be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but I don't think he's ever trying to be like, he's not like, some of these guys that try to like overly politicize their material. I don't think he's trying to do that.
He's not.
I think he just has a way of talking that's like an old wise man, you know?
Yeah.
Like he has a way of talking that is just like, I kind of just want to hear his point of view.
In his last special, he did a joke about the Titanic, the submersible that drowned or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's like a break from like the serious Chappelle, and it went back to like the silliness.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy. I enjoyed when he was silly. I'm the same way with him though. I can just watch him and I'm like, I'll listen to him pontificate for fucking an hour.
I like
then go online and watch people get upset because he made
the trans jokes.
I like
that ended up being 2 specials worth of stuff.
Yeah.
I like old George Carlin because he like lost his mind.
Yeah.
I love that. I want that guy. Like, do you?
Well, you mean when he got older?
When he got older.
Like the last specials he did.
From 1990 on, when he is just going up there and fuck this and fuck that.
Yeah.
You know who's like lost his mind? And do you remember Opie and Anthony? Did you guys listen to Opie?
I interned for them, actually.
You interned for them. Okay. Kumia has lost his mind.
Yeah.
He dresses like Stacy Keach in American History X. He's lost it. It's so entertaining. Like, I don't take it seriously. He's a racist. But it's so entertaining to me because he's still one of the funniest people ever.
He's so goddamn funny.
Oh, he's so great.
So funny.
But he's lost his mind. It's so fucking.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a good not a lot of comics. I shouldn't say that, but there's a few comics who've gone really deep because we all like a lot of people lost their mind for a little bit post 2016 a lot, and there are some comics who have like really went hard right or hard left. Yeah. Mostly hard right. I feel like those are the ones that make it known. And it's like, okay, that's an interesting way to go with your whole career now, because I feel like this moment of time will pass and you're going to be stuck in like your act is now all this.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of comics that like that.
I like to think this moment of time politically will all pass, where we don't all hate each other for everything and all that stuff. But for the people that made it their act, and it's like hours of footage of them being this one opinionated super right or left. It's like, where are you going to go with that when things die down? Because things will turn at some point.
Bill Maher now is like center right. You know? He's been a lefty his entire life. He's like the original pussy fucking lib, like from back in the 90s.
Yeah.
He's like the original because he's like a little guy, and now he's like center right, and so it does move. And he's kind of, I love Bill Maher. I think he's funny. But he's kind of like a guy, like he's made it work, like where, people still go see him. They still watch his fucking show.
I like his weird podcast. Where
they watch his weird podcast.
Oh, yeah. He has like a newish podcast.
He has a podcast like out of his house. And it just seems like he never really invited anyone over.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's just him talking?
It's
like one-on-one interviews.
He has a guest.
One-on-one interviews.
Yeah, he'll have like fucking like Richard Dreyfuss on and he gets him like drunk.
They're not political, right? They're like they're kind of like more just like
he can't help.
Yeah, he can't help himself.
Get political, you know. So, but yeah, it's
like it starts out. He'll be like, "We're not going to do politics," and then like 20 minutes in, he's like, smoking a fucking joint, and he's like, "Well, what's going on with Trump is just ridiculous," and then he'll have his guest either agree with him or disagree with him.
Yeah.
But it's so weird because he seems like a guy he seems very lonely. You know, like he does this podcast just so he has like a friend to come over.
You know what? He might be a little lonely right now because I feel like it is true that like the people that were serious Bill Maher fans are now like, I don't know what to think of him anymore. Because if you're a super left-leaning person that loved him for all those years, he's kind of not the same. He doesn't really hold the same opinions anymore.
Nah, he's like a secret.
Even though I think he would identify as, he would still tell you he's liberal.
He's a secret Trump guy.
You think he actually likes Trump?
First off, he likes Kid Rock. Like he actually think Kid Rock he thinks Kid Rock is an amazing musician. Like he's definitely he just won't admit it because Trump sued him back in like 2006.
Well, Kid Rock I think will be next year's Super Bowl.
Oh,
he's going to be on the Kennedy Center board. So I can't wait for the Mark Twain Award for humor going to Kramer this year. I'm like, it actually makes sense.
That is the way it's swinging. Yeah.
They did both love the N-word.
They probably both screamed it with the same vigor. I said vigor. Okay, calm down. I said vigor.
Remember when Bill Maher had to apologize to Ice Cube because he used the N-word? And it was like, wait a minute. If you got to apologize to a black guy, fine. If that's what the network's telling you. But like an anti-Semitic one, like you're going to bring out a dude that is just as racist to apologize for racism.
They got the angriest black guy they can think of. It's Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, and Bill Maher's just like, you know me. I'm not racist. And Ice Cube's like, well, Bill, is this a political show or a comedy show? It was so awkward.
It was awkward, but it's also like, of course, Bill Maher was going to apologize.
But to Ice Cube? You know what I mean?
No, but he's
apologize to Morgan Freeman.
No, but Ice Cube.
I'm not saying don't apologize.
No, my point is
just saying Ice Cube's not the fucking guy.
He's the
but he is the guy if you're a scared white guy. You apologize, he's probably apologizing to fear. Ice Cube could be pretty intense.
That's like apologizing to Mel Gibson for being racist.
Yeah, well, if Mel Gibson was here right now screaming in my face, I might be a little scared.
I might just say sorry.
I might just say, I'm sorry, Mel. I don't even know what I'm apologizing
He's
for.
insane.
He's an insane.
Yeah, but you know what? And like, I'm a Jew, and I don't know if you picked up on that, but fucking Lethal Weapon's that good. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I could still watch.
I enjoy his movies.
I think Mel Gibson, he's like a guy who's lost his mind. I listened to him on Joe Rogan.
There is that thing of like when you like the art of a person who goes off the deep end, you're like, do I still listen to this music? Like I never liked R. Kelly enough to have to listen to R. Kelly songs, right?
Yeah, it was very easy to cancel R. Kelly.
Trapped in the Closet was fucking stupid.
No, that was hilarious. Wait, Trapped in the Closet was hilarious.
As comedy was funny, but as a song it was fucking stupid. Right? But I'm a huge Notorious B.I.G. fan. There's a lot of Puffy in there, right? There's a lot of P. Diddy in there. I'm not gonna stop listening to Diddy and Biggie if it's Biggie's in it. I don't have to listen to Diddy's solo albums. They weren't that good anyway.
Diddy never did anything to me.
Were you a Kanye fan before Kanye went Kanye?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. That actually, I think Kanye might be the only person I ever was like, all right, I can't in good conscience. Even if I stream a song and he gets a nickel, I'm like, I don't want him having my nickel.
Well, it's like after the first thing happened. And
but I was a huge Kanye fan.
When the first thing happened with him, the anti-Semitic thing, you're like, you kind of had the feeling, like, I think he'll come back around one day and apologize for that. He's gone so far off the deep end at this point. He was selling Nazi T-shirts on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't buy one. I just I couldn't find it. They were sold out.
Didn't have it in your size.
Yeah. I was like, fucking. That was during the Super Bowl?
That was during the Super Bowl. First off, somebody from fucking Fox was like, let's take Kanye's money for an ad. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't understand why I missed that.
It's just
I missed it too, actually. Because I didn't see the game sucked, so I think a lot of people tuned out.
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't remember seeing the ad.
This Super Bowl was a microcosm of like what is going on in this country, where it's like the rules are just all gloves are off.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick Lamar did a song about calling Drake a pedophile at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I actually loved that performance, but personally because I like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
But like, how bizarre was that he was able to go on there and look at the camera and be like, hey, Drake,
I didn't
Like
see
Him
it. We were
it's
we were
phenomenal.
we were driving home from a party.
As a rap fan, it was phenomenal.
We were driving home from a party, and I listened to it on Sirius, but the sound quality was garbage.
Yeah.
So it's like you couldn't. I'm not saying he sounded like garbage, just the quality of the feed sounded like
Yeah.
garbage. So I turned it off. But I heard that he spent the entire show just being petty.
Kendrick Lamar?
To Drake. Like it was all just and I'm
Yeah,
like,
but that's because he just came out of making that petty song that won him multiple
but
Grammys.
what I'm saying
by
is
the
it
way.
made me a fan. I don't even know the song, and I'm like you use the biggest stage in
Do
the
yourself
world.
a favor.
You used a national platform to be petty to some dude you don't like.
Yeah.
Mwah.
It was a
Instant respect.
Do yourself a favor and just go do a little research on that rap battle and listen to
Yeah.
their songs back and forth with each other. It is the best. Kendrick Lamar goes so fucking deep. He hurts Drake so badly in these songs and goes so deep. And Drake had a few songs back where it's like, okay, he's trying to go back at him, but then Kendrick Lamar goes so fucking. I mean,
I was reading about it.
He's calling him a pedophile.
I read about. It seems like a pretty good.
It's great.
What
It's
do you
good-
think? What do you think the best hip hop beef ever is?
Well, it depends on what you like. The back and forth, I really liked like the 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Eminem, Benzino. Like there was that
Yeah, I remember
period
that
of
when I
time.
was a kid.
That was good because there were so many songs that came out of it because those two, talk about petty, Eminem and 50 Cent just kept going.
Yeah.
They weren't even, Ja Rule and those guys weren't even releasing songs back at them. They made like 50 tracks about these guys. And they were fucking bangers. They made great rap songs about Ja Rule, Benzino, like that whole camp of people that they were going after. There's so many fucking bangers of that.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of subtle jabs in there in other songs that are stuff definitely about. They kept going. They did it for years.
Yeah.
So to me, that's one of the best.
I think my favorite rap beef was Will Smith and Parents.
You know, I really hate you when you ask me a question
I
and
know.
you just
I was
waited.
like, oh, he's never gonna stop. Just let me get to this joke. Do you guys feel that a lot? Like, when's he gonna shut up and let me do my joke?
Oh,
yeah. It's weird though because I'm trying to do a podcast.
I know.
And
I didn't realize you were gonna come at me with a whole discography.
it was
You got me fired up.
It was interesting commentary.
You got me fired up because I do love a rap battle.
I knew
do
you were
love
doing
listening.
a joke, but I'm just like, I don't have a prepared answer for this one. I don't really follow rap battles and rap beefs.
Yeah. I don't know why people were shocked over the Kendrick thing because, like, his whole persona for the past 6 months is like killing Drake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that song won Grammys.
Yeah, I know.
Not Like Us won Grammys.
Yeah.
It was, and which, by the way, it's got to be the biggest defeat in rap history. Like, not because rap battles are usually just about the rap battle.
Yeah.
This guy's song was so fucking big that it won Grammys. That is not a thing that happens in rap battles.
It's a hit.
yeah, it's a giant. It's a great rap song.
Like
It's
that's
got
the
a
only
really
song
catchy.
I think I really know of his now
Yeah.
because I watched the halftime show. I didn't really.
That was another funny one where it's like politically aligned. Like if you were right wing, you hated the halftime performance, and if you were liberal, you loved it. That was weird to me. It's like, is anyone even paying attention to what this performance was about? Because it has nothing. It's not really. I mean, there was some social commentary and political commentary in it for sure. But
football fans notoriously hate the halftime show. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. A lot of the halftime shows
I
suck.
didn't used to. I mean, there was a string. They had a string when they were doing like rock bands every year.
Back in the 2000s.
And listen, I understand. I'm not always the target audience, so I don't. But there was a long string of like Paul McCartney, Prince, Tom Petty, the
some great ones,
Stones.
Well, McCartney was
Bruce.
the year after Janet Jackson.
U2,
The
yeah.
Janet Jackson incident.
Yeah, they're like, who's not going to whip out a tit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was I'm like, they must have went with McCartney, like, oh, let's class this shit up.
Yeah.
You know? And
Right.
the following year, I think, was Prince.
Yeah.
And Prince is.
That was the all-time best.
Yeah,
the
that
best.
I remember.
No, yeah, I think so. I think so. But but they also have had like fucking Maroon 5 who no one's a fan of.
Adam Levine.
And
like
he was
that.
showing his fucking titties and shit. Yeah. He was like shirtless and fucking sticking his dick in the camera.
He was awful.
I thought that was.
It was
way
terrible,
worse.
but that's what I'm like. No one give a shit about how bad that was.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, but the moment in time we're in. I thought it was an interesting choice of the NFL to make to put Kendrick Lamar, who's like this very
Well, it's not.
big,
It's Jay-Z booking. Jay-Z's in charge now.
Oh, is it?
So Jay-Z's booking the halftime show. That's why it's been all hip. And I thought last year's what was that, like Dre and Snoop and Eminem? Was that last
Yeah,
year?
I think that was 2 years ago.
That was
like I was gonna say,
That was a great one. That was phenomenal.
That's a good one because also like those guys are
everyone
like,
knows them.
Everyone knows them. They're a little past
Generational.
their prime. Like the halftime show was supposed to be guys who like already have a catalog of great music.
Yeah, they
and
play
now
hits.
this is like an honor thing. Now today in the last probably the last 10 years, you'll get like Katy Perry like from like 2011. She was already a big star. She was like a pop culture icon. Like she was in her prime. If she did it today, it would suck because her music kind of sucks, but people would like it more.
When there's some nostalgia. Oh, I think last year, I think it was Usher last year.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Usher.
yeah.
Right, it was Usher.
One year was Eminem. I think it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, people love that one.
And yeah, this Snoop Dogg and
Dre,
Dre.
yeah.
Dr. Dre brought out all those guys, right? Like
Yeah.
he had Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent was hanging upside down.
That's right.
Out of nowhere during this halftime show, I just saw Serena Williams. I was
Crip
like,
walking,
I was
right?
like, is that Serena Williams? And then like,
Yeah.
oh, it turns out, would she date Drake or something like
She
that?
dated Drake, so I think it was another petty thing that Kendrick did. He's like, oh, I'm also going to get your famous ex-girlfriend to fucking crip walk.
Actually, I'm doing a lot of this lately because, like I said, I missed the show. We were driving home. And then I went online and I saw an article that Serena Williams did a crip walk at the halftime show. And I laughed and was like, oh, those guys at The Onion are so good. Like it didn't even occur to me that it was a real thing.
Totally true.
But I find that with most headlines I look at, I think are fake and they aren't.
Oh, these days, the headlines absolutely seem like Onion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Trump said he's the king. Like, oh no, yeah, he actually said, long live the king.
I think he just said that though because he's probably going to die on the toilet.
Yeah, but
I think it was more of like an
zero
Elvis.
royalty. I will also die that way. I will die from cholesterol or choking on food.
He really did die on the toilet.
Yeah.
Elvis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgusting,
It's
Gotta be the worst
disgusting.
way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Gotta be.
that's a bad way
Especially
to go.
if you're him.
Remember in The Sopranos when the guy dies in the toilet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet you when Elvis died on that, whoever found him, like, they had a bet in that house, like how he was going to die.
Yeah.
Right? Like someone like the butler probably won $500 that day.
Toilet, but if you knew his diet, toilet was probably a good bet.
Yeah.
Like if you knew what he
It
was
was
eating,
probably
toilet-
the lowest
those like
odds.
fried peanut butter sandwiches he was eating,
Yeah.
right? What didn't he have like a?
Yeah, the gym was probably the best odds.
yeah. It's 1,000,000 to 1 if it's jogging.
Elvis was underratedly disgusting. Yeah, he would eat like weird shit. Like what was it? Fried peanut butter?
It was like a peanut
Bananas?
butter. I want to say bananas were in it,
Something
and
like
something
that.
maybe bacon or something. Like there was something in there that also really didn't belong, like maybe bacon or something, and then the whole thing was like fried.
He also got like stupid fat. Like he didn't realize how fat he would get. He probably just didn't stop eating.
Yeah.
So he got like stupid fat.
He had a monkey. He had like a little chimp that would like grab titties. If you were like, he had a Harvey Weinstein chimp that would just
I don't know about this.
Oh yeah, no. I did a couple episodes on him on my old podcast, and I did a lot of research, and he was up to some weird shit. He would put the monkey in a chauffeur's outfit and let him sit on his lap or whoever was driving the car's lap. So if you happen to look over at a red light, you'd see a fucking like monkey chauffeur.
That's one of those things where the guy, like, he's just too rich for his own good, where he's gonna just, like when people, artists just, it's like Michael Jackson was that way. Speaking of people that you have to decide whether or not to listen to them once you find out horrible things.
Oh, I
about them.
tell you the trick. For me, he didn't get weird till right after Thriller. So
that's early on.
You could listen up to Thriller.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hits up until Thriller.
You could listen up to Thriller.
But there's
after
also like
Thriller,
20 years after Thriller, though.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Michael Jackson after Thriller.
Yeah,
You do a lot
that's
of
where you got to
palatable
draw
music
the line.
after Thriller. I mean, you had like what, Black
Bad.
and White. And,
Yeah,
the Bad's after.
he had the
Oh,
Bad
wait a
album.
minute. That was
little did we
he
know.
had pedophile
What bad?
accusations around then.
Yeah,
Oh, he did?
Really?
I think so.
No, I think
That
No, maybe it was
Clinton
Black and
happened.
White. Maybe it was the Dangerous
Yeah.
era. He was trying to tell you in his album titles what kind of dude he was.
Yeah.
Bad, dangerous.
Yeah. But that trial was much later, which is why I think is
all
throwing
the
you.
accusations came out sometime in like the late 80s.
Well, do you remember what happened? That kid came out and
No,
was
that
like,
trial was
Michael
much later.
Jackson molested me. And then Michael Jackson went on the MTV cameras
It's like late 90s.
and was like,
No, Go on.
Yeah, he was like, no, this never happened, and I'm going to have my day in court, and I'm going to fight, and I can't believe these accusations have been made. And then the kid came back and was like, I could pick his dick out of a lineup. And they were like, and then Michael Jackson was like, here's $50 million.
Yeah.
Please go away.
You remember that documentary then that eventually came out? I mean, and it was weirder than just like, oh, he touched me here. It was like, he would look into my butthole. Oh. Like, look into it.
Yeah, you heard
You know,
Well,
like,
they say that's the window to the soul, right?
that's how you find out who a person really is.
That was the Neverland, Finding Neverland.
Yeah, which is much later.
But then it came out that those two kids, like, there's inaccuracies in their stories. Like, one guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he didn't fuck him.
Oh, I don't know.
But he.
Yeah, I mean, well, they were getting
sure.
plied with wine and drugs. There might be some inaccuracies in yours.
Right. Or they may be embellishing parts because they're trying to make it even more like, oh, big interview moment thing. Like, they may have not told the truth about everything. But it doesn't mean he didn't look into their buttholes.
He got accused again in 2005. Yeah, that's when he was dancing on the car and shit.
Yeah.
Really
Remember Chris Rock was like, come out here looking like Captain Crunch?
Right. But that's another one of those guys who he was so rich.
Outfits.
Like you're saying with Elvis and the monkey, like he was so rich that he did, aside from the deviant stuff, there was just a bunch of weird things that he did. I mean, Neverland Ranch, the fact that he had like a Neverland Ranch was fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just one of those things. Like, you have too much money. You're going fucking nuts. You have too much.
But people would say, like, with a straight face, it would be like, well, he was working his whole childhood. He never had a childhood, so he's just a big kid. So that's why he has a petting zoo and a Ferris wheel.
That's why he kept fucking kids.
Yeah, and keeps fucking kids because he never had a childhood.
Yeah. Well, did you ever watch it was like the greatest night in rock and roll, or the greatest night in music?
Pop.
Yeah, the greatest pop. Yeah, not rock and roll. Was about
We Are the World.
The making of We Are the World.
I never watched it, though.
And Lionel Richie is a big part of the interviewing part of it, and he just talks about how like Lionel Richie goes to his house because they're the ones who wrote the song together.
Yeah.
The two of them, and he goes over for like these writing sessions. Once the idea was pitched to them, and they're making it, and he's like, I'm just there, and he's like, oh, just there might be a snake in here somewhere. It's like he's like, what? He's like, it's like
In my trousers.
It's like Lionel. He would call him Lionel. It's like, Lionel, just if you see a snake, let me know. He's like, there's a fucking snake loose in this room. It's like, I haven't been able to find him for days. It's just a guy with too much fucking money. And I do think it does, like, obviously that's not a well-adjusted person mentally to begin with. But like, even the Kanye thing, it's like, I think at some point, like, yeah, he probably was, I'm sure he was already anti-Semitic, but then he's so rich and so successful that he just loses it. Like, was he, if Kanye West was just like a dude in Chicago, would he be screaming, fuck the Jews?
Yeah,
but only in traffic. Like, it wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know. Everyone has always patronized him, I think, throughout the years. Like,
because he's nuts, yeah.
Yeah, like even like the Taylor Swift thing from like 2008. Like, if you
that might have been the first sign though of him like being fucking crazy, right?
The Bush thing, when he was on TV. With Mike
during
Myers.
Katrina.
Yeah,
what's that?
Remember Mike Myers' face?
I don't even remember that.
Austin Powers having a panic attack.
During a benefit for
they were doing a benefit for Katrina,
Okay.
and they had Kanye presenting with Mike Myers
they paired them
from
together.
SNL. And what did he say?
He was like, George Bush don't care about black people, and then Mike Myers just his face was like, what the fuck? You didn't tell me. You was gonna do that.
You saw him like looking at the teleprompter, looking for that.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not on there.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, no, I remember thinking at the
That
time,
doesn't seem
like,
insane to
that's
say.
awesome.
It's brandish, and it's like, oh, that's some balls to go on there and say that. But that's not
remember
an
being a
insane
fan of
thing
that.
to say.
No, not that time.
Yeah, right. You remember going like, oh yeah, good for you, Kanye. You fucking chose a moment to say something that's probably very true.
I mean, storming what was it, the Grammys that time with Taylor
MTV
Swift?
Awards.
Oh,
MTV
okay.
Music Awards.
It wouldn't matter.
When the Beyonce deserved this.
Yeah, like storming the stage.
That was probably the first crazy public act where people were like, oh, what was that about?
Yeah, but
He
everyone
didn't need to
loved
do that.
it. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, fuck that bitch!" Like, and now, like 15 years later, yeah, he's been saying crazy shit because people thought he was like, people have patronized him. Like, people think he's like a cute guy. Like, I don't know. I never really liked him. Never cared for him.
I think a lot of people just marked it up to like, oh, he's super creative, so these creative people could be a little fucking nuts. But then the anti-Semitic,
like his music is all right. Like.
Oh, in terms of producing music
know.
that's different in the hip hop genre, I think he's done some really interesting, good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like now it gets to a point where you're like, well,
I never found them interesting. I still don't. I just found out about the Nazi thing. What he was selling T-shirts.
I just thought it was on his website. I didn't know.
Were you just looking for T-shirts?
Well, yeah, it was on his website, and he ran an ad. And the Super Bowl was like, "We'll take it."
White shirt. It just comes up.
The Super Bowl was like, "We shouldn't run this, right?" But then they were like, "Well, there's a lot of Nazis these days. we probably have some good Nazis."
I'm wondering, like, somebody must have clicked on the website, so he must have had something like for the Fox people, Because I'm sure he wasn't just like, hey, I want an ad with this website.
That's true. It wasn't Fox this year, so maybe
I'm sure they.
It went through a little easier on Fox than it would have went through on CBS.
Yeah. Yeah, NBC would have clicked on the website. Fox is like, I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah, NBC would have canceled themselves. They would have canceled the whole Super Bowl.
That's it.
We're not having the game.
How does that happen? And they just go back to like Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I didn't even know because I wasn't paying attention to that at all. Yeah. I just kind of tuned out during the game.
Why? Because I think the ad itself was not anything spectacular. It's just that if you went to the site, right? They didn't show a Nazi shirt on the ad.
No, it was a website.
Okay, I got you.
And so you click on the link and it takes you to his merch store, but that was the only item being sold.
Yeah. They didn't run an ad with a shirt on it, but they ran an ad that had the thing. With
So I'm saying he must have run the ad, and then somebody had to be like, well, what does this link take? I wonder if he had like a dummy thing set up, like just a regular merch store.
I like all the Jesus ads now. Now every year there's a Jesus ad.
Yeah.
What was that the first one about washing feet and stuff?
Yeah, they always got like a tranny washing.
But that's
feet.
for a. But from what I was reading about that group, they're actually not super religious, and they're not really. I think they really are kind of like one of these hate groups, but I don't know why they're presenting themselves as something else.
Just to lure you in, maybe.
Yeah,
it's a little Scientology-ish.
Yeah.
Where it's like, let's get you in with something that sounds like, hey, this is a self-improvement program. Yeah. Every religion, where it sounds accepting, and then you come in and they're like, well, aliens should kill Jews or something. I don't know. Something fucking so outlandish.
Is that what Scientology is this whole time?
It's not anti-Jew, I don't think. No, Scientology...
There's a lot of aliens,
There's aliens, but they will accept anyone. Scientology is really about taking all the money.
It's a pyramid scheme.
It's about taking money from their people.
It's like any other religion.
Right. Yeah, that sounds...
it's just newer.
Yeah.
I love that.
Their story is no crazier than Christianity.
It's no crazier than like Mormon.
Yeah.
Which is also fairly new in the grand scheme of, it's not new really, but it's like in the grand scheme of religions, it's new.
Well, that documentary about Scientology came out for HBO. Remember that one?
Going Clear. Yeah. Great documentary. Yeah.
I love that documentary.
I like that one guy, Jason Beggy. Wasn't it?
The guy with the raspy voice from from Californication.
Yeah.
Every other word out of his mouth is fuck. He's like,
wait, who was he in California? I'm trying
He played the professor. Not the professor. He played like...
he's on Chicago 5.
He's on that. He's on that.
Californication. Who's he?
Who the fuck was he on Californication?
Because I just rewatched that. I forgot how fucking excellent that show was.
That show's great. He's like that guy's like David Duchovny's boy.
They're friends, yeah.
Like him and like
they were friends with John F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, the three of them would just probably
went to like Harvard together. And stuff.
They would probably just go through pussy in New York City.
Yeah,
so much pussy and coke. Yeah.
He's the guy. He's the author. Remember that he makes a big speech. He's all naked.
Oh yeah. Yes. He gets drunk and naked.
He's like, you
like
ever,
the last season.
You ever sleep with a 12-year-old boy and beg for a few inches more? Like stuff like that. That's like a line he has.
I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, he's
My wife calls me Hank Moody sometimes. Like we watched that and it was it hits so close to home on so many.
He's a Scientologist and he was in that documentary. That documentary is like hilarious.
I feel like since then there's been so many good ones too, like culty religion documentaries.
Yeah.
Like I really liked the Nexium one.
Which one was that?
It was more recent.
That was with the dude from or the girl from Smallville.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was like Scientology light. It wasn't. Although
they were branding people.
They were branding people. Well, but that's like years in. That's like fascinating things about these cults that are like pyramid schemes. They're about getting people in. Their self-improvement programs, and then they take all your money as a patron, and they make you think you need them to go on. But then that one got so deep that there was a side cult. It was like a sub-brand of the cult that started where they were it was like a sex cult, and they were branding. It was like a women's help sidebar cult, but then they were branding people, and then it turns out the brand was like really the main guy's like initials. Yeah. Like just made into like an upside down weird logo.
That one.
That's a good one. There's two of them though. There's one I want to say like
there's two.
HBO and Hulu both ran their own. Whichever one came out first, I think it's HBO.
I'll go HBO. They're
I don't
good
like
at
when
that
they
shit.
do that. It's confusing. They did it with the Fire Festival one.
I would have watched 5 more on the Fire.
Yeah,
yeah.
Any
more of people eating like those dry hamburger patties?
Remember that guy?
In a flooded tent.
They were like, Andy, you're gonna have to go suck dick to get us some water, and he was like, all right,
shit. Well, good, because I'm going to be thirsty. This is going to make me very thirsty. So I'm going to need some water.
He's bringing it back, the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to
happen. That guy won't stop.
No.
He'll keep going.
Yeah.
That's it. That guy's such a scam artist, and
But there's people that are like, well, he couldn't possibly go tits up this time. Like, he's clearly had to have done his homework.
Right, now it's going to be a good one. That was good because that was like a lot of people like they were like, I quit my job to be here. This is good.
I miss like old school scumbags like the Girls Gone Wild guy. Yeah, this guy.
Joe Francis.
Yeah, like I miss guys like that. Like,
right, he only screwed a few people over at a time.
Yeah,
yeah. He wasn't getting 100,000 people to go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, at least the content was good too. Like
it's hard to argue with quality entertainment.
Yeah, the Fire Festival guy. It's like just one big event, and then he just fucks everybody over, and he's starving kids or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah, the Girls Gone Wild guy had a brand.
Yeah, at least
he ran that shit for a while.
Yeah,
I think a kid just got fucking
just
got pummeled out there.
Yeah,
right into the glass.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when you look at this podcast, it feels so small, but we're in this massive building.
Yeah.
And then there's also like play dates that happen when we record this podcast specifically. So sometimes we'll just get like the way a bird will fly into glass and there's a kid will just fucking run into one of these glass panes.
That's grandma. Oh, she's going to hit him.
Hit up! Fuck him up!
Now they can't see us, right?
Well, these shades are down, but
they could see us. Oh, okay.
That's why I close these things when I get in here because you could just see right out there.
My favorite thing is seeing all the vain people walk by and like look themselves up and down.
I've seen that a few times.
It's like a two-way glass mirror.
Yeah. It's like
anyway, guys, you guys, thanks for coming on. Do you guys want to? You have anything to plug? Like April-ish?
Well, I think we opened the show with Paisan Con. So,
Paisan Con, yeah. Please go to fucking Paisan Con.
But the only thing is, I don't know where it is.
Just look for the fucking ozone fucking hairspray zone
You'll find
floating in the air in Jersey.
May 9th and 10th, Paisan Con, somewhere here in New Jersey. It's going to be great.
Here in New Jersey.
Come see Furio from The Sopranos. He's there. He's amazing.
Dude, you know what? I might go to
the nerve
Furio.
is
Furio is a great fucking character.
Great character.
Yeah.
What's her name was on it? Lorraine Bracco was there last year.
Oh, that's cool.
She was charging people $100 for autographs. It was ridiculous.
Oh,
like just on the spot, like give me $100.
$100. It was like, it's so crazy. Oh, the people that were there were amazing. Like they were like the fucking guy that played a young Henry Hill in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like it was like
he had a stand like for people to get his autograph. Oh, and it's like no, who would recognize you? You were 14.
They have to tell you who he is, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if they have to tell you who it is, it's not worth $100
There was
for an
nothing
autograph.
said.
Yeah.
Because I don't go to those other I never went to like Comic-Con or anything like that.
Nah, me either.
Yeah, but with the cons that are bigger and have mass appeal, get all walks of life. It's the hyper specific cons.
Yeah.
Right.
That are going to get the crazy. So when I was in college, I worked for this they were a job expo company, so they would throw like a bunch of a job fair, right? But one employee decided we know how to set up fairs. We know how to set up what you now call a con, right? Like a thing with a bunch of booths.
Yeah.
And we know how to do these events. I have an idea. Why don't we do? And it was I don't remember the name of it, but it was something like adult. It was a porn one. It was a porn expo.
Oh, yeah.
It was like erotic expo, I think is what they called it. Erotic. So this company that was just like a legit job fair company. One employee had this idea, and they saw like dollars. Said they're like, we could do this. They got a bunch of porn companies, and we did it like right in because I was an intern there. We did it at like right outside Penn Station in like one of those like halls, but like one of the lesser known ones, like a little halls where you could like rent out space and stuff. And they had an erotic expo, and there's all these porn companies. This is before like internet porn. This is like you're still getting DVDs because I was in college, right? Like the internet was around, but you weren't. It was not where it is porn wise.
Yeah,
people were still buying their porn, and there was like a bunch of sleazy porn companies, and then a few of the big ones like
Brazzers.
I don't remember the names, but I remember the porn stars that were there that were representing them. Like Ron Jeremy
show.
was there. Tara Patrick, who was a big porn star back then. Ron Jeremy, and so they were promoting it with Tara Patrick. She was this really beautiful, very popular porn star at the time.
With her work.
And so, but the people that it was open to the public, so you could just walk in, and it was like $20. So you were just getting. I remember. I'll never forget. I had to like go outside and bark like it was a comedy show, and I get people. And I was like, "Hey, you want to see some porn stars?" You know.
How
and
easy
I'm like 19.
Was it easy to get people in? I would imagine.
Extremely easy, but
Easier than a comedy show, I'm guessing.
Yeah. You know when you get barked for a comedy show, you're like best comics in New York. Everyone's like, "Fucking stop."
Shut up.
Yeah. I'm
Want
like,
to see an amateur porn lady?
Yeah.
Fucking line out the door.
yeah, but people would just walk out of the subways, the homeless or semi-homeless people. Well, like I could scrounge up $20. I'll give me a minute. We'll go and get some fucking. And this happened. They would be like, "I'll be right back." They'd go get some fucking money and come in, and then the whole expo was just a bunch of like rapists in there hitting on porn stars. That was what the whole thing became. By 4:00 that afternoon, it was basically every porn star was in danger. Because the halls had filled, the word got around to the homeless and semi-homeless on the street, crackhead community on 34th Street, and they were like, "There's just a bunch of porn stars. We could just go see them. You could get $20." And I remember this one guy who had, I think, full face herpes. He just had he had the first case I've ever known of everywhere
Full
herpes.
makes it so much
Yeah,
better.
he had like the coxsackie of herpes, the hand, foot, mouth, but it was herpes. And it was just like literally, it might have been meth scars. I'm not sure. And he was like, "You could talk to them." And I'm like, "Well, they're there. You can talk to them." And I was 19. I wasn't going to be like, "Hey, I need to think about the safety of these porn stars." I was like, "Yeah, okay, get one less flyer I have to hand out. Go in." And this guy,
Bring a friend.
I didn't see this guy for like hours, and I saw him security hauling him out. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did. So these days that'd be called like a con, but there was a specific period of time where those were just like fair. Oh, there's an event,
Right.
not at the Javits Center, not something that big, but these smaller
It
halls.
was a fair. It was called
Yeah.
a fair.
It was like a fair. Yeah.
A porn fair.
Yeah, a porn fair. Paisan Con would have been like Guinea Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Gindaloon Fair.
Gabagool Fair. Yeah. So you'll be at Paisan Con.
Paisan Con.
May, sorry, you said the date.
May 9th and 10th.
May 9th and
I forget
10th.
what you said it was.
Yeah.
Some hotel here.
Can you get anything?
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a few things to talk about.
Saturday, April 5th, I'll be at Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor.
Ah.
It's my wife's birthday. I
The
won't be there.
12th, I will be with Joe Mackey at Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie.
Yep.
And then May 30th and 31st, I'm headlining Sunshine City Comedy Club in St. Pete's Beach, Florida.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
I'll be at Laugh It Up Comedy Club also the day before you.
Yeah.
I'll be there the 11th. And I just got dates for the 18th and 19th. I will also be there.
Oh, nice.
Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie. And then, I think we could announce this now. We're at the point in time we're recording this, tickets are not available. By the time this goes out, tickets will be available.
Yeah.
We A Bit Too Much podcast. We're doing our first like big stand-up show. Jim Florentine will be the headliner. We're doing it at Smodcastle Cinemas, which is Kevin Smith's movie theater in Jersey. Go to smodcastlecinemas.com for tickets. I'm sure by the time we say this, the tickets will be up. If they're not, be patient.
Yeah.
No, but by the time this goes out, I think tickets will be up there. So smodcastlecinemas.com for that'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is A Bit Too Much podcast. Find A Bit Too Much on all the social medias, and follow, subscribe, and follow these guys. What are your like social handles?
Greg and Rob at Instagram.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah. Don't worry about TikTok. It's
I
been
lo-
banned in 3 years.
Okay, don't worry. Don't. They deleted TikTok, so don't go to
Don't worry
TikTok.
Now that I might have to re-download
Bring it back.
But with a different
By the
page.
time this airs, you'll have TikTok back.
Yeah, a different page.
Trump's
probably.
like a drunk. He just gets mad. It's fucking, we're
know.
getting rid of it. He's
We
like,
don't know. Yeah, it could be gone by the time.
yeah, it could be gone.
Whatever. The audience
it's hard
is
to
savvy.
stay mad at him. I'm going to be honest. Like, there's sometimes he just says the most outlandish, goofy shit, and I fucking laugh. And I'm like, I know I shouldn't be laughing at the president of the free world trolling everybody right now, but I fucking
yeah. Some of these things are infuriating, but then he also has
he also
has a mugshot in the Oval Office. He has a mugshot hanging up in the Oval Office.
It's the Sinatra and Bada Bing and Sopranos.
You can't even get mad at it. You're like, all right, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. You have your fucking mugshot up. That's funny. All right, guys. See you next week.
See you.